Hence, the Waqf Amendment law was passed by India's parliament, and today the All India Muslim Personal Law Board chose Friday prayers to announce the beginning of their Shah Bano plan against the law. That's right. The Muslim rights body announced that just like in 1985, they forced the Rajiv Gandhi government to nullify a court judgment granting maintenance to a Muslim woman. In 2025, they will force the centre to do the same with the Waqf law. And right on cue, across the country, protests were carried out in city after city. As soon as Friday prayers got over, the most action was seen on the streets of Kolkata, with multiple organizations holding protest marches. Similar sloganeering and street protests were seen in Gujarat, Bhopal, old city of Hyderabad. In Mumbai, AIMIM leader Waris Pathan courted arrest, demanding a rollback of what he called a black law. And in a protest held at the Asifi Masjid in Lucknow, posters, believe it or not, with faces of Hamas leaders Ismail Hania and Nasrallah were also waved about for good measure. These protests were held under the leadership of Shia cleric Maulana Sayyid Kalbe Jawad, and the rallying cry for all of them was the same: it's a Black Friday against a black law.
मस्जिद ट्रस्टियों ने हमको बुलाया था कि जो वक्फ का काला कानून मोदी सरकार लाई है उसके खिलाफ आज हमने पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट किया है और हमारा ये पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट जारी रहेगा देश भर में। मैटर सुप्रीम कोर्ट में पेंडिंग है, 16 को सुनवाई होने वाली है, लेकिन हमको संविधान ने अधिकार दिया है कि हम कानून अगर नहीं मानते, काला कानून है, ये मुसलमानों के राइट टू प्रैक्टिस रिलीजन में इंटरफेरेंस है, यह संवैधानिक है, संविधान का गला घोटा जा रहा है मोदी सरकार द्वारा। तो हम चाहते हैं कि फौरी तौर से ये कानून वापस लिया जाए।
और के मुंह से मुखौटा जो सेकुलरिज्म का था वो हट गया, देश के मुंह से भी और नायडू के मुंह से भी। नकली सेकुलरिस्ट हैं और ये सिर्फ सब के सब ये आरएसएस के अंदर शामिल हो चुके हैं। ज़्यादा ये है, इनको सजा मिलना बहुत ज़रूरी है, बहुत ज़रूरी है। सिर्फ मुसलमान नहीं बल्कि जो सेकुलर है, क्योंकि इस वक्त सेकुलर ढांचे को खतरा है, पूरे हिंदुस्तान के सेकुलर जो ढांचा है उसको खतरा है। जो सेकुलर कुव्वतें हैं उनको इनके खिलाफ उठना पड़ेगा, जिसमें मुसलमान भी शामिल हैं और गैर मुसलमान।
So the question is, what is this Shah Bano plan, and why is 1985 being spoken of 40 years later? Well, in 1985, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of a Muslim woman, Shah Bano, on her plea to get maintenance from her husband. This decision was met with widespread street protests by Muslim groups and several political parties who said this judgment went against the Sharia. It was anti-Islamic law. The net result, that the then Rajiv Gandhi government at the centre buckled and brought in the Muslim Women Protection of Divorce Act in 1986, which basically overturned the Shah Bano judgment of the Supreme Court. An old Muslim woman was denied the basic maintenance that the country's law had granted her. Now, an emboldened All India Muslim Personal Law Board is confident that a similar street protest, a veto, a pressure through demonstrations, mass mobilization, lobbying with political parties will make the current government behave exactly like Rajiv Gandhi in 1985.
ये पूरी तहरीक पुरअमन और दस्तूरी हदूद और कानून के दायरे में रहकर होगी। इस तहरीक में बिरादरान वतन और सिविल सोसाइटी के लोगों को भी शामिल किया जाएगा। ये तहरीक शाह बानो तहरीक 1985 के तर्ज के ऊपर चलेगी, जिसके तहत हम हर रियासत, ज़िला, शहर और गांवों तक पहुंचेंगे। इस मुहिम के जरिए एनडीए हुकूमत पर इतना दबाव बनाया जा सके कि वो इन मुतनाज़ा तरमीमात को वापस लेकर साबिक़ा कानून को बहाल कर दे।
So you'd probably argue, what's the problem? Everyone has the right to protest, don't they? If they don't agree with a law or decision, they can't be faulted from taking to the streets. But is that what is really happening? We'll let you decide. Take a look at what has been happening in West Bengal for one. Over the last few days, ever since the Muslim clergy announced their nationwide protest, multiple incidents of violence have been reported from across Bengal. On April 9, violence started in Murshidabad after some people blocked the road demanding a rollback of the Waqf law. When the police intervened, stones were pelted at them. Exactly the same situation has repeated itself today. After performing Friday prayers, a mob tried to block National Highway 12 and pelted stones at the police. Vandalism has also been reported from Dhulia, where the tracks have been blocked, stalling the Puri-Kamakhya Express train for at least 3 hours. Earlier, protesters swarmed all over Kolkata yesterday, causing several snarls. In Nadia, vandalism and attacks on policemen were reported, and a video caused much outrage where a bus was stopped in Kolkata by protesters and the driver was forced to remove a saffron flag pinned on it. But even as questions are being asked of the state government about whether they are allowing a free run to those trying to push a Shah Bano plan on the country, imagine this. One of Mamata government's own ministers, Siddiqullah Chaudhary, was seen on stage in one such protest in Kolkata, claiming that if we want, we can bring Kolkata to a screeching halt.
মুখ্যমন্ত্রীর অফিস থেকে ফোন এসেছিল এক্ষুনি এইসব সমাবেশ থেকে তিনিও সন্তুষ্ট মুখ্যমন্ত্রীর বক্তব্য বিধানসভায় আমি একটা আপনার মোশেক তথা প্রস্তাব এনেছি আমার রাজ্যে ওয়াকফ আইন আমি বলবৎ হতে দেব না কলকাতাকে যদি বলতাম জ্যাম করব তো 50টা জায়গায় 2000 করে বসে যেতাম সেটা এখন হয়নি পরে কিন্তু হবে বলে করব বলে প্রথমে জেলাকে একটু টাইট করি তারপরে কলকাতার 50টি জায়গায় 10,000 হলে কত লাগবে
We've said it before and we will say it again. It is the right of every citizen, group, organization and party to protest and express disagreement with the government and the law of the land. But it is no one's right to break that law and threaten the government, threaten the Indian state. We are now seeing it happen on the streets yet again. After numerous such protests in the recent past, one is not even going into the merits of the false claims being made to fuel these protests about how people's houses, property and places of worship will be taken away. These grievances and differences of opinion can only be thrashed out in the highest and best forum available to every citizen in a democracy. On the 16th of this month, India's Supreme Court is scheduled to hear a batch of such petitions against the Waqf law. But if before that some people think that they can threaten to make the Indian state buckle with a Shah Bano plan, and if some political parties think that they will collaborate with these groups in this plan for their benefit, then you can better decide whether this is democracy or not. And on a side note, 2025 is not 1985.